When we are talking about a phone, we are talking about a specific sound segment, the sound as it is produced by the human mouth. A phoneme is a phone that is meaning distinguishing in a specific language. So a phone is the sound. A phoneme is a meaning distinguishing sound. For example, in English, the sound is not meaningful. It doesn't occur in any of the words that I know of. It's not a phoneme in English. It's a sound that the human mouth can produce. It is a phone, but it's not a phoneme in English. It may be a phoneme in other languages. On the other hand, the sound v does occur in English and is meaningful. And there's a difference in meaning between the words vat and bat, or very and berry. So I know the phone v is a different phoneme than the phone b. They are, and both v and b are phonemes of English because they distinguish meaning. They change the meaning of the words they're in. Let's take another example. L and r are different phones. They are different physically produced speech sounds. In English, l and r are different phonemes. I know this because lock and rock are different words and have different meanings. In Korean, the sounds l and r, or very similar sounds, occur, but they don't create different words. The difference between these sounds does not form a minimal pair. They are not different phonemes in Korean. So a phone is a physically produced speech sound, representing one version of a phoneme. A phoneme is the smallest meaning distinguishing sound unit in the abstract representation of the sounds of a language. Now I just said that in Korean the difference between l and r is not meaning distinguishing, but it never creates a minimal pair, because it never creates a minimal pair. In English, however, they do create a minimal pair. The words lock and rock. Minimal pairs are two words that are identical in form except for a contrast of one phoneme in the same position in each word. The existence of minimal pairs means that the difference between the two sounds is contrastive. Change one sound into the other and you've created a contrast in meaning. Teachers find minimal pairs very useful in teaching pronunciation and listening skills. Teachers use them to introduce similar but different phonemes to students. Linguists find minimal pairs useful because they help them to determine whether or not the different sounds are phonemes in a language. Sheep and ship are minimally different, only the vowel sound is different. With marvel and marble, it is only one consonant that is different. Thought and rot look very different when spelled out, but they are also a minimal pair, as they only have one phoneme difference, regardless of how many letters are different. Korean has a number of consonants that are meaning distinguishing in Korean, but not meaning distinguishing in English. The words bang and bang, bang and bang, are different words in English, just as jang and jang are. In English, this sound contrast does not occur. These words would not be a minimal pair in English. When you are writing phonetically, try to be as accurate as possible. The word kill can be represented phonemically as a k, an and a l. But if we were writing it phonetically, we would want to acknowledge that the phoneme k in English is followed by a small puff of air, indicated in IPA by a superscript h. We don't need to represent that puff of air when we're writing phonemically, because it isn't meaning distinguishing. We don't hear a meaningful difference between kill and kill. The same puff of air doesn't occur when the K sound follows an S sound, so we wouldn't have to write it in a phonetic transcription of the word skill. So I'm not sure if I'm being clear here. You write phones inside of square brackets, and when you're writing phones, you try to get exactly what sounds are being produced. You write phonemes between slashes, and there you're only paying attention to meaning distinguishing sounds.